The greatest enemy in the universe is one's own self. That is the person themselves. Sometimes we can be the very thing that will hinder us, or we can be the very thing that will deliver us, save us, or take us to the next level of evolution. This is a very important topic, and I'm going to break it down where it can make some sense. See, even if it may not be you, per se, as an individual, you as a kind, as a certain type, as a phylum, as a culture, as a gender, as a person, there's various people that are like you. Like when someone say men, they're talking about all men, without color, without race, without culture. When they talking about women, again, that's the same. All race, all culture, all color is excluded. What they're talking about is women. See, there's a big word called accountability. When I did military training, there was a thing that we stood by, and it's called trusting the team and never leave a man behind. And we also stood by a code of honor where if one messed up, we all messed up. Because we have to work as a unit. We have to work as a team. We have to know how to operate correctly as one person, but yet we are several people individually. That is usually the only way to win. And you could say that's the same as basketball. That could be the same as football. That's the same as many other sports where the team wins, not the individual. Let me say that again. It is the team that wins, not the individual. Even if you may have a great performing player. You may have one that is an overachiever who may accomplish more points in the game. But that's just for those individuals who like to pick and pick out and exclude individuals from the team for more clout, more prestige, more money, more infrastructure, and the list continues on. But in the end, who wins? It's the team that wins. It's the team that wins the Super Bowl. It's the team that wins the trophy. It's the team that wins the championship, not the individual. Even though you may have a top player, you may have a top performer, still everyone wins because of him and because of the rest of them. Now, the reality of it is, even if he's a top player, it makes sense that he would not be able to win all by himself. He would not be a single outperforming player. He will still need to require others to assist him in bringing the team over the losses and the failures, and to succeed to the realm of success and winnings and prestige. I had a very good conversation with a person about, let me go ahead and bring it to you, okay? We're going to talk about it today. Because we are falling away as a species, and we need to understand how we are messing ourselves up. There was a famous OnlyFans model who got swiped from the face of the planet. And she's not the only one. There's been couples. There's been a few of them. And there's some who have not been highlighted or made wide news. But the ones who have are usually the ones who have maybe a million followers or up there in the six digits, the high six digits, because it makes for talk. It makes for a conversation. All right. It makes headlines. And it brings people to the circle of popularity should they talk about it. But I'm not going to give no names. I'm not even going to say who it was that got swiped from the face of the planet. Or you could say deleted. But I will tell you this. If you poke with the fires of the world, you're going to get burnt by it. See, we got to understand that, I'll set up like this. Women have to understand that they don't really take accountability as a whole. It's usually an individual thing. It's usually things that are positive. I will put it like that. But when it comes to doing something right, when it comes to those type of dangers that they can prevent or they can keep themselves from doing, it goes through one ear and out the other. I was talking to a friend of mine who had a girlfriend when he first met her. When he first met her, he told me that, here's a crazy story. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Here's the crazy story. She had a sheer curtain on her window, a sheer curtain that you can actually see through at night and even at day, especially at night. At night is pretty easier. It's so much more easier when you have the lights on. They can see on the inside. And it was practically in her bedroom. So what she would do is dress in front of this very unprotected, visually eye candy prepared window or windows that she had in her bedroom. And she didn't think twice about it. She didn't even care. Until one atrocious day, there was a strange rustling outside of her window. And it sounded like somebody was outside of her window. You can hear the bush moving and a little bit of gravel and noises and scrapes the side of the wall. And the story goes as she looked out of the window, half naked, practically in her bra. Let me say that again. She looked out of the window, half naked in her bra, to see what that noise is, or possibly danger. Come to find out, it was one of her neighbors, ladies and gentlemen, looking through the window, peeping at her. Now, let's not get it wrong. It's wrong for what he did. Of course, just because the door is open don't mean you need to walk through. Just because the meat is available don't mean you need to grab it. Just because eye candy is available don't mean you need to look at it. He's not excused for bad behavior. But she herself, she's responsible because she called nature in her direction. She didn't take the preparations that she needed to. She stood there on and on and on, dressing, getting out of the shower butt naked, all right, changing her clothes with the light completely on, where practically everybody in the neighborhood can see through her window and observe her personal life. And my friend goes on to tell me that she, of course, was frightened, and she called the authorities, and they had to come by and figure out who this guy was, and she had to give some descriptions. And he told me she was kind of shook of that situation. Now, here's the kicker, ladies and gentlemen. When my friend met her, now this is how he learned the story. All right, this is how he learned. Now, take a deep dive in the mind here. When he was invited into her bedroom, the sheer curtains was still on the window. It was still there even after that situation. No accountability. Didn't care that she was tempting danger. Didn't care that it was her fault that he was outside the window. It was her fault that he was outside the window. If you're asking for trouble, you're going to get it. Just like if you walk around and you have a firearm and you don't have the safety switch on, if you accidentally pull the trigger or switch it some kind of way, or you bump against something and you shoot your foot or you shoot someone else, you are responsible, even though that person may have been too close, even though that person may have been your friend and gave you a hug or something of that curriculum. But however, our nature, you're responsible. So therefore, the argument began, or the conversation, where he had to tell her to change the blinds, change the curtain, put something up there where people wouldn't look on the inside to prevent that situation from happening again. And of course, she wanted to argue with him about the situation because he was trying to protect her from herself. Let me say that again. He was trying to protect her from herself. Because clearly she didn't understand the dangers that have befalled her. Clearly she didn't understand. Maybe next time she won't be so lucky. Next time, the guy may not be standing outside the window. He might be standing inside the house next time, or trying to break in the window to get the meat that she's dangling before his face. It's no different when they tell you don't feed the zoo animals. Don't go into the lion's den. Don't put your head in a hippo's mouth. Don't feed the birds. Don't go too close to the crocodiles. Be careful of these sort of bees over here. Don't mess with the beehive because it's going to sting you. That hornet's nest is minding its own business. It's been sitting in a corner for a long time. Don't you walk over there, because if you do, they're waiting for you. All right? Now, when the hornets sting you, okay? And they bruise you practically halfway to death. Are you going to get mad at the hornets? You're going to get mad at them for having a nest over there? Are you going to get mad at them for protecting themselves? Are you going to get mad at them for their own nature when you tempted them? You started this. So, ladies and gentlemen, I began to think about the story that my friend gave me. And of course, he broke up with her because she never learned her lesson. She was reluctant to put the blinds up there and some proper curtains. So he wasn't going to spend no time with her. And you can imagine what she's doing when he's not there, showboating and putting on practically a show for the whole neighborhood until somebody goes in there and finishes her completely. Finish her, right? 1, 2, 3, she's out of here. And she's the next one in the obituary, because that's the way it works and that's the way it operates. But however, to make a long story short, the OnlyFans model. Let's go ahead and put this in a sandwich. The lettuce, tomatoes, and the cheese and everything else that I've described to you in this conversation that we're having. It's the same thing as what OnlyFans models are doing. It's the same thing. It ain't no different. See, what I know is a lot of them as well, they stay home. They don't leave the house. They try to stay in their protective circles to prevent themselves from being exposed or being around practical and realistic danger. However, that's not quite good enough. It's not good enough. Because the days come when we have to face reality. The days come when we have to be out in the public world and somebody's going to know who we are. The day's going to come where OnlyFans is going to dry up. Now you're 50, you're 40 years old, you're 32, or you're 39. The day's going to come where you want to switch your career. You might want to do something else besides tempting danger and destruction, which may come your way. And so I know it seems kind of heartless for me to talk about this, but I'm not heartless. And I know it seems kind of, because some of you are so sensitive and broken hearted when it comes to logic. But oftentimes, if we tell you that there's no water in the swimming pool and you jump off the balcony to go into the water anyway, or the diving board to go into the swimming pool, and you splatter to the ground, there's nobody else's fault but your own. It's nobody else's fault but yours for preparing yourself for doing that. There is a lot of women who live in fear, and fear can be real. There are some real dangers in the society that we function in. There are some real issues that is worrisome for the average modern female. Now, here's the question. Here's the real question here. If she knows already that the environment isn't going to always be safe, if she already know that men can be deranged, certain types of men, there are some men who's going to want to get what they just simply want to get, regardless of how they're going to get it. They just don't care. They're just going to get it one way or the other. That is, get her in a very compromised, sexually compromised position. If she know that there are some chances and a very high probability that she isn't as strong as a man, and she's not typically, and that most men aren't going to want to abide by her daily so-called moralistic rules that she wants to surmise in that brain that she has. Okay? Why would she increase the danger by dangling herself as a piece of candy before the world? Why would she have a followership, let's say, for example, 500,000 people, to observe her body, to observe her sexuality, to lust after her, to be tempted by her flesh, and not expect for any consequences to come behind that? There's no amount of logic behind it. There's no amount of self-love behind that. Now, I do clearly see that I overstand and I see. I don't say understand. I overstand and I see that there are some things that you have to do to pay your bills. Sometimes you got to survive, and it's difficult out in the society. You have a lifestyle you got to provide for, and maybe some of them might have kids, young toddlers that they have to feed and put food on the table. So they have to use their body because that's the only thing that they have available to them in order to survive and to live. I get that. But let's go a step further with this, since you want to think that way. As your teacher here, all right, there's something else that you're not looking at. Oftentimes, she don't have to do that, because there are men out here in the world. Listen, there's only two things. Either she's reluctant, ignorant, and just don't care that men can possibly be, or a single man that is a available suitor, a proper gentleman who can be with her, protect her, love her realistically, or be a top runner to provide her with the financial stability that she needs. Or here's the other side. Here's the second one. Or she's just not relationship material. Or she's just not relationship material. Either way it goes, oftentimes there's not a lot of excuses, because of course I've already gave you my lesson on the differences between dating of man and woman because we're different. We have a different allotity. We have a different opportunity in this world. That's just the way it works. So for a woman to miss the goal line, for her to be all by herself, for her to just say, I don't care, I'm just going to go out there and get the bag regardless, that means she's willing to walk in the valley of death and accept all the drastic issues that comes with it. That means she's prepared if that day comes and she meets the group of guys or boys or men or dangers. Even maybe some women can set her up. Some women can set her up in the most negative way. They can do that too. It's not just men. Women are dangerous as well. As a matter of fact, there are more dangerous women now than what they ever used to be. And they're catching up to men in the prison system. So there you go. Absolutely. So she's willing to risk it all for her money and for her survival. I won't say the wrong way, but the negative way that's going to draw evil to her attention than to do it the positive, natural way. Whereas there is a man or a husband in her life where she don't have to suffer to the point where somebody's going to off her, or to the point somebody's going to force her to be in the obituary and never return onto the scene of the OnlyFans. The only thing that you hear from her is the fact that she's no longer on OnlyFans. She's only gone, completely absent. See, the dilemma that we're living in today, are functioning in, and I'm going to be really raw with you right now. I don't think that anybody really cares. I think I'm wasting my time with this conversation. It goes through one out. It don't matter. This is what I thought before I made this audio. What's the use? That's what I thought. What's the whole point? I mean, she's not going to listen anyway. You might not listen anyway. If you listen, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, it happens, but, OnlyFans still rocks. That's the way to make money, and that's the way to go. It's not going to change. I understand human nature. Human nature is a very funny thing where you can be warned that the volcano is going to erupt. You can be warned that the sinkhole is going to take you and your home. You can be warned that in 2023, there's going to be more single women than you ever saw in the history of the westernized civilization. And there's going to be a rampant explosion eventually, and it's going to keep growing, of sex dolls for men. And a lot of them electrical sex dolls or robotic sex dolls for men to replace women. This is the absolute facts. It's just that way. But even if we know this, even if we embrace this, even if this is a reality that we all are able to see, it don't make a difference because we're not changing our ways. We're still going to go down that path, even if it can be prevented because of our ignorant, self-serving, backwards walking, de-evolving, rebellious, ignorant human catastrophe. So I began to think about this, and I'm like, what's the point of it? But what's the point? I guess I'll just go ahead and just throw a video out, throw this audio out there. It don't matter. Just to see what happens. Maybe somebody will be listening. But you don't have to. Because year to year, and even whether you know it or not, month to month, there's an OnlyFans who drops. If it's not an OnlyFans, it's an Instagram model. If it's not an Instagram model, it's a stripper. If it's not a stripper, it's a prawn star from somewhere dropping. And a lot of the times, they can't curve the case, meaning the case is cold. It's a cold case, or they didn't figure out who it really was, because this how can I put it? This sex worker had, and sometimes often has, 5 or 6 DNA inside of her, what can I call it? Love tackle. Okay? Inside of her body at one time. So it's difficult to tell who was responsible for her being deleted. But here again, did she know listen, are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Here we go. Did she know the forest was full of animals? Yes, she did. Did she know that the lion gets hungry sometimes and loves its meat? Yes, she did. Did she know that her body is supposed to be a temple that is valuable, and it's not made to be a product to be spent in exchange for $1? It was supposed to be, and is better spent, better used to combine herself with a organic, natural man to build a future and to rear kids. Most of them know it. They just don't care because somebody else is getting the bag. She wants to get the bag too. But you know what? The horrible thing about this, and I hate saying it, but it's the truth. They got the bag all right. They got the bag, finally. I didn't say it. You did it. Get mad. I didn't say that. You did it. When you are being, how can I put it without being very raw with this, or too raw where you can't handle it. When they zip you up because you have no longer a pulse, you're not breathing any longer because you decided to take the unnecessary risk, you finally got the bag. That's the bag that will eventually, or most times, will come at a higher probability and a higher chance because you take a higher risk. So therefore, when you play Russian roulette, knowing the dangers in the world, knowing there are crazy men and women, knowing that you are thirst trapping. Uh-oh, wait a minute. What did he say? Y'all didn't think Morpheus knew anything about that. You didn't think I knew anything about that. You're thirst trapping these men. Women openly thirst trap men. They know what they're doing. They know their game. They know what they do. And they will even tell you that, oh, he's thirsty. Yeah, he's a thirst trap. Thirst trap him. Yeah, that's how I get my bag. I thirst trap them. They know what they are doing. They are not unlearned or uneducated about their body. They know this when they're 13, 14, and 15. They're not silly, but they've been taught. They know better, but they've been taught to turn it around and use it as a form of economics, of money, of clout, and of income as a value loaded exchange. And oftentimes, as I told you before, the reward isn't worth the risk. Because what's the point of you having 1 million followers and subscribers? What's the point of you even getting $900-something thousand for your body? Because it looks good, because you got a heart-shaped booty, and you are in the ground where you cannot even enjoy it. Because there is an end to fast money. Do you understand? There is a detriment to fast money. There is a wall to fast money. If you're going to hit it slow or you're going to hit it fast. Either way it goes. And when you don't want to do it, when you want to do it the wrong way, which is the absolute wrong way, which is taking what the universe have gave you and trying to turn it into a dollar bill, something that's meant to raise kids, something that's meant to produce the next generation, something that's meant to bond a man to you, something that's meant to raise up the morality of a society. When you take that and you dismantle it in the swamp, and dirt and uselessness and worthlessness but a dollar bill. The consequences is severe. The consequences is more than you can really handle. Because you're raising the bar, you raising the scale, and you raising all dangers and destruction to you willingly. I'm going to get off this audio because I can keep going with it, and I want to make it short and sweet because I know that it's not going to change anyway. I know it can seem I'm kind of negative, but they're not going to. Just be prepared to keep watching the news, and you're just going to keep seeing plenty of them drop like flies because I understand how human nature is. There's a lot of bozo men. There's a lot of blue pill betas. There's too many white knights, so there's too many men who don't get any. There's too much destruction in the world. We have too many idiots who are bringing down practically the universe. And if it was already dangerous years before now, why would you dive into the dangers head first with lipstick and snuffleupagus eyeliner and face paint? Why? You're not a soldier. You're not going to war. It's not like you're putting on face paint because you're trying to save and prevent the destruction of America. You're putting on face paint to deceive and lie to the world to get your bag. That's nothing to be proud of. That's something to be ashamed of. But don't take my word for it because there is no shame. And because I realize that there is no shame, there's no need for me to even waste my breath. Just know that somebody said something about it. Just know that these type of women ask for this type of trouble. They ask for it. You know, when you set yourself up for danger, does that mean should they harm you? No. Should anyone harm a person for trying to risk themselves to make money? No. But you realize the risk. The risk isn't going away. It's not going to change. The world isn't going to be a better place, especially if you're accepting the dangers that befall you, especially when you are ignorant to the possibilities, especially when you are a woman to the point where you will give up anything just to put food on your table. When you give up anything to put food on your table, you're going to be without. You're going to be losing something. And that road is going to come back again. You're going to do a 360 and you're going to realize you lost the most valuable part of yourself because you sold it. You sold it for a gold coin. I'll never forget. There was a sugar baby who was actually found in a suitcase. Somebody rolled her up and put her in a suitcase and buried her near a tree or something like that out in the middle of nowhere. And there's a sugar baby. And you would think, well, you know, it's only OnlyFans is happening to, and, you know, I don't put myself out there and I feel like I'm safe. Well, let me teach you something. Okay, let me go ahead and school you. There's a difference between feeling safe and actually being safe. There's a difference. A lot of you go by feelings. I feel like I'm okay. I feel like I can go on this date. I feel like it's all right because I got my cell phone and all my contacts with me. I feel like it. But you still go and you put the very reason that you're doing what you do is the problem. You actually using those sites to hook up with people around the world is what the problem is. Talking about you feel like you're safe. You got to know that you're safe. You don't know you're safe. That's why you need all those security measures. That's why you having your cell phone. You calling your friend, your mama, your sister, or whoever else. Brother, hey, I'm going over here. Here's the Snapchat. FaceTime every 5 minutes, every 2 minutes. Here I am. Why do you have to do that? Because you know you're not safe. You want to feel like you're safe. And your feelings got nothing to do with logic and reality. Don't give or two crab shells about your feelings. That's one reason why I know y'all not going to listen. That's why I know they don't care. That's the one reason why I know the average modern woman don't care. But yet men like myself or others are always called misogynism. We hate women. Oh, you talk about women so much. If I hated women so much, why am I trying to warn you about these things? Why am I even talking about this subject? Vinny, I'd be like, go out and do some more. Go ahead. Yay, keep doing it. Woo, do it if that were the case. If I did not care, I would not be talking about this. But the reason that I'm talking about it, because it's an important subject to let you know, hey, don't go across the street. You cannot go yet. It's busy traffic. You're going to get ran over. You got a red sign there. You got the lights blinking red. The hand is up saying, don't you go. Everybody else is standing on the sidewalk waiting for the light to change. And you got to be that one person. Well, OnlyFans is safe right now. I can keep being a sugar baby. I can keep doing it. It only happened to that person last year. It only happened to her a couple of months ago. It's not me. I'm very safe. But yet I'm still doing the thing that's unsafe because I'm different. I'm special than the rest of them. They were stupid. Wake up call, Mel. No, you're just like them. You're just like them. They did the same thing, playing Russian roulette until that one unlucky day. Instead of getting a man, instead of getting married, instead of trying to fortify some type of real security the right way, instead of keeping the value of your body and your chastity and your oaths, you rather go out there and do the modern day self-destruction that's not going to lead nowhere but 6 feet in the ground. And you want to call yourself different. That's okay. Let them keep on doing it. But you can't say us men didn't warn you. You can't say men are misogynist and, you just don't care about us. They're always putting us down and always. No. If you play with fire, you're going to get burnt. You keep going out there playing hopscotch with the devil, eventually the devil's going to trip you right on your face and going to keep tripping you on your face. Your kind, your team, your people. Remember what I said in the beginning? It's just me. I'm just an outlier. I'm only one girl who's doing this. Women of the West, westernized world. The modern day woman. I didn't give her a name. I didn't give her a culture. I didn't give her a face. I said woman is doing this. Plural. Women. So because in the thoroughs, in the majority, I don't care. It don't matter. This is what I do. I got to make money this way. Oh, really? And there's 12 men who are willing to take care of you and have a child and be there for you. Oh, he's too dusty. He don't make enough money for me. He's too kind. Oh, he's too nice. Nice boy. Nice boy. He's too nice. No, I don't want him. He's not tall enough. He looked like a TikToker. I don't want to do it. No, forget it. I'm going to stay on OnlyFans. Only delete it. So I'm going to get off this audio. The whole point of it, if you didn't understand what I was saying, was we ask for what we get. It's simply that. It's just simple. There's no need to cry over spilled milk when you purposely push the cup over. You are purposely pushing the cup off of the table. Well, I'm going to get mad that you're spilling the milk. You purposely want that. You purposely want the floor to be sticky and stinky and mildewy. You purposely doing it. So how am I going to be surprised? Oh my God, this girl who was on OnlyFans, there was a crazy fan that met her at her house and offed her. Well, okay, yeah. And what was she doing? Oh, she was doing OnlyFans. Oh, okay, I get it. So was she a housewife? No. Oh, okay. Was she cooking in the kitchen and mopping the floor and she got an apron on and cleaning the house for her husband to come home? No, she wasn't. So what was her profession? Oh, she was on OnlyFans. And she was a sugar baby. Oh, okay. Okay, so we can't figure this investigation out. I get it. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, it just happens. Okay, just this strange man just so happened to meet her and yeah, okay. All right. There's no reason behind. There's no reason. It's a hard investigation. We can't figure this out. We're too stupid. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. I guess she's innocent. She did nothing wrong. It's okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The sugar baby that was in the suitcase. Oh, I guess she did nothing wrong. Okay. Yeah. She was going to college and she was in school. College, school, of course, duh. She was going back and forth home. She's minding her own business and, and somebody just decided to fold her up. Okay. I get it. Yeah, I'm the dummy here. I'm sorry. I guess I don't understand. I got to grow up then. I guess I'm childish. And then you want to know who else becomes even more stupider? You'll get somebody over here and say, well, they're going to try to chase us down anyway. They're going to try to do a Jason and a Friday the 13th on us anyway, regardless of what we wear and what we do. Okay. When the light turns green, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me do this for you. All right. Let's say that we have 5 drunk drivers and 20 sober people driving in this experiment. Listen, ladies, men, back me up here. And the light turns red. The light turns red and everybody's driving past, right? The light turns red for you not to walk across the street. That means you need to not cross. Now, would you survive if you try to run across the street when there's no car? You might. You might have a chance. You may survive if you run fast enough and you are paying attention to the cars that are coming, that is, horizontally, left and right. But would it be dumb enough for you to do? Would it be okay for you to do it? No. Would it be safe for you to do it, even if you might have a chance of winning and surviving? No. So, even if the light is green, the light is green, right? And it says, okay, you can walk, but the walk sign illuminated white. So you can walk across the street and there can still, I told you, 5 drunk drivers, one can still hit you anyway. One can still run you over, hit the stop sign, spin around, run you over your foot or something like that, or swerve in front of you. You can still encounter that. That's the same as men. You will still have a man who will chase after you. There may still be a lurker. There may still be someone who wants to pick you up and destroy you, okay? Even if you are fully clothed. But what's the odds? That's 1 out of 100. That is probably 2 or 3 out of 100. And it may never touch you. Like you playing Russian roulette, you spinning it around. Woman, oh my God. Oh man. You got 97 chambers that are freed up where it may never bother you. There may never be a stalker. Those 3 bullets may never come your way, even though they exist, even though it have touched other people, even though it have came other people's way. Okay? Why would you, knowing the chances and the risks of that danger, why would you go ahead and fill all 97 chambers up with bullets and only leave yourself 3 empty chambers of survival? When you have 500,000 viewers, 500,000 subscribers, 500,000 possibilities that within the 5,000 people, there is going to be maybe 100,000 or 50,000, or it could be even 10,000 of them who will not mind to wait for you to be vulnerable to take you down. That's our logic. Let me stop. I'm gonna quit right here because I get a headache talking to stupid people. Because this is sloth behavior right here. This is sloth conversation we're having right here. You got to be too slow to understand what I'm saying. Why take the risk anyway? Oh, I got to make money. Well, get a man. Yeah, I said it. Get a man. Oh, because you're not marriage material. You're not marriage material. I couldn't say marriage because I don't even stand by marriage, but you're not relationship material is what I'm trying to look for. Because a lot of us are walking around with a mental illness. A lot of us is walking around with mental disease. A lot of us is walking around without therapy. That's why. A lot of us have a broken body, a broken life, and a broken mind, and a broken spirit. A lot of us need a doctor to help us, but generally, more than half of Americans are walking around as psychopaths as it is, let alone relationships. So therefore, if she's not fully mentally prepared to be in a relationship, the easiest thing for her to do is remove the panties and take down the bra and say, here you go, world, for free. I don't have to think about it. Just look at it. But the time will come when you're going to need a relationship. The time's going to come. The time is going to come where it's going to be required for you to saddle up. Excuse me. The word is saddle up. There's going to be time where you need to saddle up and be serious about your life. But by then, you've been deceived. By then, you're already in your 30s. You already hit the wall and flipped over it. By then, you might already have a child or 2 kids by someone else. Now you're washed up. Now you have a possibility, but it's the same as that Russian roulette. Now your chances are lowered. It's decreased. You'll get a man, but it's not going to be the man that you really want, or that could be of your caliber, or that's going to be sensible for you. Because what did you do? You kept running across the street. Every now and then you got hit by a car. Oh, you didn't say it. Yeah, every now and then you got hit by a car. And it made you ugly in the spirit, and it made you ugly to deal with, and it made you an ugly companion should you ever have the potential to be one. Now your mind, your body, and your spirit is crippled. Now your mind and your body and your spirit is crippled, so you don't become relationship material. See, this stuff is vital, ladies and gentlemen. This stuff is vital. I know you got something for this, and I got more coming for you. This is food for thought. And it's also a warning, but, they're not going to get it. Who cares, right? They're going to keep doing it. The OnlyFans, only forever, only until, and then only no longer here. So, okay. Our sugar babies and everything else. Who cares, right? They don't. So, hey, I guess we just have to suffer the consequences. And you see on the news what the consequences are. You want it? Hey, that bag is a big one. You're listening to LCM Leon C., also known as Morpheus in Academy of Wow Men, and I have more for you to come.